Let me be real with you for a second. Why is it that people who love books are always labeled as quiet, boring, or antisocial? Like, they'd rather chill at home with a book than hit a loud party. They'd rather listen than talk nonstop. They'd rather think than jump into drama. And after a while, they start wondering, yo, is something wrong with me? I used to ask myself that too. Because in a world that rewards being loud, fast, and always online, choosing books can feel kind of. But here's what most people don't realize. Loving books isn't about avoiding life. It's about how your brain prefers to experience it. And once you understand the psychology behind that, everything clicks. In this video, we're breaking down why book lovers see the world differently, what reading actually does to your brain, why depth matters more to you than noise, the hidden strengths of being a reader, and yeah, the real risks if you're not careful. If books feel like home to you, trust me, you're going to feel seen here. Let's start with this. For people who love books, reading isn't just a hobby. It's regulation. When you open a book, your brain finally gets to breathe. The noise shuts up. The pressure fades. Your nervous system calms down. Psychologists call this mental containment. Basically, your mind finally has boundaries. No notice, no expect, no one needing anything from you. I used to notice something weird. Scrolling would leave me drained. But reading? I'd feel calm, clear, almost reset. That's because books don't overload your brain. They focus it. And if you get overwhelmed easily, that focus feels like safety. Here's where people get it wrong. Book lovers aren't boring. They're just picky. They don't need constant stimulation. They don't chase dopamine all day. They want meaning. One deep idea beats 10 shallow conversations. That's why book lovers usually prefer long, real talks over small talk, thinking over reacting, stories that challenge them instead of just entertaining them. Psychologically, this is called depth orientation. You don't want more input. You want better input. That's also why loud, surface-level environments feel exhausting. It's not arrogance. It's mismatch. This part doesn't get talked about enough. People who love books usually handle emotions better. Not because they don't feel things, but because they actually process them. When you read, you step into other minds, other lives, other emotional worlds. Over time, your brain learns. You can feel deeply without falling apart. I noticed this in myself. When something emotional happened, I didn't need to vent immediately. I needed space to understand it. Books teach you that skill. They slow emotions down so you can make sense of them instead of dumping them on everyone else. That's emotional maturity. Quiet, but strong. Here's a big difference between readers and non-readers. A lot of people build confidence externally. Likes, attention, reactions, approval. Book lovers? They build it internally. Through ideas, reflection, inner conversations. That's why readers often seem confident without being loud, comfortable alone without being lonely, sure of themselves without needing validation. They don't need an audience to feel real. And honestly, that kind of confidence makes some people uncomfortable because it doesn't ask for permission. Another misunderstood thing. Book lovers are usually very empathetic, but not emotionally messy. They can understand different perspectives without losing themselves. Why? Because reading trains your brain to hold complexity. You learn that people can mess up and still be human. Paint doesn't always look dramatic. Silence doesn't mean emptiness. That's why readers listen more than they talk. They don't rush to judge. They don't rush to respond. They know understanding takes time. Now let's be honest. There's a dark side. Loving books can turn unhealthy if reading becomes avoidance. If books replace real conversations. If solitude turns into isolation. If reflection turns into overthinking. Psychology makes this clear. Healthy solitude is a choice. Unhealthy isolation is a shield. I've been there. Reading felt productive, but I was avoiding action. Books should help you understand life, not hide from it. Healthy book lovers. Read to understand, not escape. Reflect, then actually move. Balance inner life with real connection. Use knowledge as a guide, not a hiding spot. They don't disappear from the world. They step back into it, just more intentional. So let's wrap this up. People who love books usually need mental calm, value depth over noise, process emotions internally, build confidence from within, care more about understanding than attention. That's not weakness. That's a different operating system. The danger isn't loving books. The danger is never applying what they teach you. So if you've ever felt weird for loving books more than chaos, you're not broken. You're just wired for depth. In a loud world, here's the real question. Do you read to escape life or to understand it better? If this video made you feel understood, hit like. Subscribe to Clearway. For Psychology Explained Simply. No noise, no fake motivation. And remember this. Books don't pull you away from life. They teach you how to live it with clarity,